Hello boys and girls, welcome to BenchART, I'm for Classic and welcome to Psychonauts 2, a game developed by Double Fine Productions and it is using Unreal Engine 4. And so my objective today it is to show you up how this game runs on a GTX 1650 Super. So this is my recommended settings, so it's essentially 1080p maximum settings, and by using these settings what I get it is a huge average of 124 frames per second with a minimum of 83. Now the question is, how much frame rate do I get if I jump up to 1440p? So with maximum settings, what I do have at 1440p, it is an experience above 50 frames per second. So for the majority of the people, this is absolutely fine. But if you want a super stable 60 frames per second, it's not possible. So one alternative, it is for you to go with 75% of resolution scaling while using the maximum settings. So for 4K, the maximum settings doesn't provide a stable frame rate. So despite the average it is 35 frames per second, the minimum it is 23. So 19% of the time the game was under 30 frames per second, and so I can't really recommend you to go with the maximum settings, but you can go with 50% of resolution scaling using maximum settings. So one thing to notice in here is that 1080p maximum, 1440p maximum with 75% or 4K maximum at 50%, the results are very close to each other. So you might be asking first why I'm testing with resolution scaling and why the results are very similar. So I also tested with resolution scaling because there is some strange behavior going on with the graphical settings of this game. So for example, when I have gone with 1080p maximum settings, when you put the very high preset, which is the maximum you can go in this game, the default resolution scaling it is 100%. But if you have a 1440p screen and you put the game at very high, the default resolution scaling it is 75%. Now if you have a 4K screen and you put the game on very high, the default resolution scaling it is 50%. So what is in common in between 100% of 1080p or 1440p, 75% or 50% of 4K? What are in common between these three? Well, what are in common it is that all these three different settings in here render the game with the same internal resolution. So basically, if you are playing at 50% of 4K, you are essentially having the game being rendered at 1080p. Alright, so it's not really that different. Now the second thing is, why are they suggesting this when you are using the very high presets in different resolutions? It seems like the developers are trying to force you to use 1080p as internal resolution. I'm not really sure why they are doing this, but one thing I do know is that they are using the latest, one of the latest versions of Unreal Engine 4. And so they are using already the TAA-U, which is a great TAA upscaler that does an excellent job. So when you are playing with 50% of resolution scaling at 4K, despite you are not natively having 4K, you are getting a very good upscaler. It is no better than DLSS, alright, but it is a very good upscaler in this latest version. It is actually arguable that it can actually be much better than the AMD FSR. So keep that in mind. But of course, I also tested the game with the maximum resolution scaling, which is 100% on those two resolutions, and like you saw at 1440p, the performance was above 50, and at 4K, it was a little bit disastrous because it was dropping below 30. Alright, so I think for all intents and purposes, the game just runs absolutely fine. Now, another thing that I want to notice is that I'm using the Xbox Game Pass version. I'm not really sure how's the performance on the other versions like Steam, GOG, and well, any other version out there. And what I want to say is that I've noticed some stuttering here and there, especially on my first playthrough of the level, that I was just trying the game. So when I have done the benchmark, it was my second, third and fourth playthrough, I haven't noticed as much stuttering as my first playthrough. So I'm not really sure how the game behaves entirely if you are just playing the game normally without repeating the levels, but I really noticed a great amount of stuttering. The game is using DX12 by default. There is no graphical option for you to change it. Possibly you can tweak it and force it to DirectX 11, but I decided to go with DirectX 12 because it was the default. There was no graphical options inside the game that allow you to change that, so DX12 made sense to me. But possibly the stuttering, it is happening because of that. So I honestly don't know. But you are warned that possibly if you have a Steam version, there might be options there for DirectX 11. I don't know. I honestly don't know what's the difference. But what I do know is that I had a little bit of stuttering, alright, in my first playthrough. Alright, so be warned about that. Now a little bit about the game. So despite I have the first game, I actually never played or cared about it. It never really got my my attention, you know. I played a little bit and it was meh. But most of the majority of the people that play the game really said that the game was awesome and that I was missing out a lot. I don't doubt it. I think that Psychonauts probably is a huge and excellent game, but it happens that I've never played it at all, aside from a little bit of the first mission. Alright, so Psychonauts 2, it is a new game. It still retains a lot of the platforming from the original game, according to many reviewers. It is a little bit more modern in some stuff, alright, but overall, the core experience of the game, it is mostly the same as the old ones, and that it is great, because nowadays I think games always want to be different and being kind of live services and stuff like that, so it's hard to find games that resembles a lot of the classics. Classics are awesome in my opinion. Possibly I'm getting old, I don't know, but I think the classic single player games are usually awesome. And Psychonauts, it is an awesome classic game, but in 2021. Alright, and that's a big thing. According to reviewers out there, I mean on Metacritic the game pretty much scored 90. So it's being very well received by the critics. IGN, for example, gave it 80, but the majority of the reviews have been very positive regarding this game. I'm not going to really specify it or anything because I barely play the game, but so far I did enjoy it. There is really some nice animations in here, nice cutscenes, everything seems very good, despite the graphics are not really top notch. The game, it is super fun. Honestly, it is super fun regarding gameplay, regarding cutscenes. It's so well done. I haven't really played that much, but just by the cutscenes, it is a well time spent inside the game. So there's that. If you want to, you know, investigate a little bit about the game, just check your typical reviewers that you follow, because they pretty sure have a better opinion than me that I barely play the game. So I'm just talking about stuff that I've read online, and everything seems excellent about the game. Now, the bad thing and the good thing about this game, it is its price. So it can be both. If you want to buy the game, alright, it is super expensive. So you will pay the full price for the game. It is pretty much $59.99 on Steam. So it's super expensive in my opinion. I'm pretty sure that the game, it is worth it, but still it is super expensive nonetheless. But the good thing is that if you are an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, it is available there, and that's why I decided to use the Xbox Game Pass version, because it is the cheapest and quickest way to have the game than spending 60 bucks on the game. So I just spent like 10 euros or 10 bucks on the Xbox Game Pass, and with this subscription I'm able to play tons of games and also enjoy Psychonauts 2 and also bring you the results of the benchmark. Alright, so I think that's all, guys. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Just plan. In fact, I think it's a trap.
No. That's just a sensor. Everybody has those. They live in your mind and stamp out things that don't belong.
Like us?
You handle this one. I'll find a way out. You just have to do your thing with the dental door here. Ugh. I can't even look at it.
Sounds like there's some emotional baggage nearby. I should try to get that sorted.
Hey, see what you can find that way. See you on the other side.
Looks like some sort of conference room in here.
Rasputin, is that you? I need...
I'm coming, Sasha.
Rasputin, careful. It's
Ha! Here's the hatbox tag.
a trap. It's a trap. Lobato has...
I won't let them eat you, Sasha.
Please, let's get clear of this aggressive...
Sasha, how is Lobato breaking through the office construct?
He couldn't be doing this on his own. He must be getting help from someone even more... sinister. Get ready, Rasputin.
Sasha!
I've got the situation under control. Just find us a way out of here, quickly.
Yeah, don't bother with them little mooks. You want to go for the gold. You gotta grab the big boys. Help me carry this one, will you, Frankie? I can't believe... they got me too, Frankie. The mooks.
Yep.
Did you even brush before you came in here today? Honestly, it's a mess in there. Here, rinse and spit. Get out everything that doesn't belong.
Oh no, not back in the trap.
Trap?
Coach? Coach, where'd he go?
Oh, well, that's a good sign.
What is it?
That is a regret. If Lobato has regrets, then maybe there's a way we can still get to him. Let's get out of here and find Lobato.
Sasha? Are regrets dangerous?
Oh yes, extremely. Take care of that one, will you, while I find an exit.
No.
Good job, Rasputin. Unfortunately, I can't find a way out of here anywhere.
Sasha? How long has that golden door been there?
Golden what?
Did somebody say gold? Frankie, here's our chance for revenge.
Oh, not these guys.
I'll keep looking.
Watch out. Not again. I'm coming to see you, Ma.
Rasputin, you see what you can find through that door. I'm going to stay here and attempt to repair my construct.